Good evening, everybody. Wow, it's awesome to be back in the old jail listening to some music. Our last concert was back in March, and then all this stuff happened, and we have totally retooled ourselves. We have all new sound equipment, lights, cameras. We're doing our first live show, and we're just super excited to be back listening to live music in our community. And we're glad that you guys are all with us here in person, but also everybody with us on Facebook and YouTube. I want to start by first thanking our sponsors. Our sponsors is what makes it possible for us to bring in regional acts and be able to bring music here to our community. So our individual sponsors are Bob and Dee Dee Dooley, Barry and Anna Gordon, Walter and Edie Holland, Jim and Ray Johnson, John and Sochi Koppelmeyer, Donna McMillan and Don Underhill, Bill and Cindy Pitts, Dr. James and Ann Ryan, and our corporate sponsors are the Law Office of Dustin McCrary, L. Gordon Iron and Metal Company, S&J Carolina Scale Company, Statesville Jewelry and Loan, MyNet LLC, Arnold Watt, partner, Statesville Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Groucho's Deli. We're very, very grateful for them. And also, those of you who are watching online, also want to point out that we've got a tip jar available that you can help donate so we can keep doing this in the future. And we have a Venmo account that's Arts Council, and our PayPal account is Arler Arts. And lastly, also, and you'll see it come up throughout the concert, Kyshona has merchandise available, and you can go online, kyshona.com, and folks here, she has stuff here as well that can purchase. So again, glad you're here, and let's get started. So Kyshona, come on up.
Good evening. Congratulations for coming out. My name is Kyshona, and I drove all the way from Nashville, Tennessee today. Yes. It was a beautiful drive, really. It was lovely. I got to see some of the leaves changing, and I'm very happy to be in front of you all here in the room and you all out there in the interwebs. And I'm originally from South Carolina, so I'm like an hour, no I'm not. Well, I'm an hour and 45 minutes away from my dad right now. I grew up in Irmo, South Carolina. Anybody ever been there? You have? Yes. That is, Lizard's Thicket is my father's favorite after church place. That is the occasion. If you have a big occasion coming, that is where you go. But yeah, I'm from Irmo, and my grandparents and my parents are all from a little town called Winnsboro, South Carolina. So my grandpa, H.T., his real name was Hawthorne, which is also my father's name. Grandpa H.T. used to play in guitar quartets and gospel quartets. And they would tour all over northern South Carolina, and some of North Carolina, I do believe. But my grandpa was one of those guys who would sit in the back of the church whenever it was his time to sing on the Jubilee choir. And he would have all the grandkids under his wings. And from the back pew, he would just stomp his foot to keep time for the chorus, for the choir. And his voice would just boom off the rafters. And I like to think sometimes my grandpa is telling me, don't worry about a thing, Sugarfoot. Everything's going to be all right. So I'm going to pass that on to y'all right now. This is called On the Line. I could worry, let my heart ache. I could dwell on all my mistakes. Oh, but I know that worry don't worry a heavy burden and make the small things too important. Oh, but I know that worry don't make nothing right. No, no, no. The sun is gonna set and tomorrow it's gonna rise. The flowers keep growing and the birds are still on the line. I'm gonna wake up as the dew fades and thank the good Lord for every new day. Oh, because I know that worry don't make nothing right. No, no. And whether you're rich, yes, or making ends meet, I know you're fighting the same war as me. Oh, and we all know that worry don't make nothing right. The sun is gonna set and tomorrow it's gonna rise. Yes, see, the flowers keep growing and the birds are still on the line. Now, Grandpa would say, let the church hum along. Make a note. Oh, yes. And when the roll is called and I close my eyes, I'll wake in glory, standing in the sunshine, and I will know that all that worry was just a waste of time. Sweet, sweet times. The sun is gonna set and tomorrow it's gonna rise. Yes, it will. Flowers keep growing and the birds are still on the line. Yes, Lord. The sun is gonna set and tomorrow it's gonna rise. The flowers keep growing and the birds are still on the line. Ooh, yes. Ah, no, 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 no. Thanks, y'all. I feel like that's a good one to start on when I feel like there's just this tense feeling all around us this week especially. You know, we just gotta remember that everything's gonna be okay. We can't worry. Worrying don't fix nothing. So I'm a bit of a storyteller. Hope that's all right. Too late now. I'm here. Before I decided to pick up the guitar and do music full time, I was a full-time music therapist. So I was going into hospital settings and I was working in geriatric nursing homes and assisted living facilities and working with at-risk youth and working in the prison system back in Georgia. And so I was always meeting people at rock bottom, their rock bottom. Either it was one that they had been going through or they had just hit for the first time. And I'm sure y'all know, sometimes we hit rock bottom a few times, and it's different each time. A couple Easters ago, I was sitting in church, and the pastor was talking about finding grace in the graveyard. I was like, what is that about? And I don't know what the rest of the sermon was, because I tuned out and started just kind of writing and thinking. And I got to thinking about that rock bottom. Now, when we hit rock bottom, we think there's nowhere else. There's no way out, right? But if we remember that when you hit rock bottom, you cannot go any lower. That's it. So you might as well rest your bones there for a little while. And don't fear what's to come. Just take that time to heal and prepare for what's going to come next. Think through all your burdens, how you can overcome them. And when you're ready, you leave every burden on that rock when you are feeling ready to get up and keep going. The hardest part to remember is not to bring those burdens with you. This is called Burdens Down. As I walk to the river, my knees start to quiver. Is there enough water in the world to wash me clean? My heart starts racing. All these demons I've been chasing tell me that I'm not the kind, no, to be set free. Looking for grace in the graveyard. Finding the light can be so hard. Oh, I've been under it, and I've been over it. Yes, Lord knows I've hit rock bottom. You can crawl through the dark and lose sight of it all, or you can lay your burdens down. Yeah, I feel the winds are changing, and my worries get to fading. As I stand on that rock that's been trying to pull me down, yes, pull me down. I'm done with the hate crime. Oh yeah, to myself I've been lying. Goodness in me that was lost, yes, Lord, has now been found. Yes, I leave the chains in the graveyard. I took the light and a new start. Oh, I've been under it, and I've been over it. Yes, Lord knows I've hit rock bottom. You can go through the dark and lose sight of it all. You can lay your burdens down. Yes, I've been under it, yes, I've been over it. Lord knows I've hit rock bottom. I've heard those voices call. You can crawl through the dark and lose sight of it all, or you can lay your burdens down. Yeah, yes, Lord, now lay 'em down, lay 'em down, lay 'em down. I'm gonna take that rock, throw it in the river. Gonna lay my burdens down. Gonna take that rock, throw it in the river. Gonna lay my burdens down. I'm gonna take that rock, throw it in the river. Gonna lay my burdens down. make sure that we ended some of our sessions with. And it was called a mantra. So I would have my patients write their own mantras. They would repeat them in a melody. So this is the mantra I want to leave with y'all. Those of you in the room, you're masked up. I appreciate you. Y'all can sing with your masks on, but those of you at home, y'all can sing as loud as you want. This is what you're gonna sing. I'm gonna lay 'em down, 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 lay 'em down. There you go. Lay 'em down, lay 'em down, lay 'em down, yeah, lay 'em down. Now, if you've ever sang in a choir, found that harmony. Lay 'em down, lay 'em down. Y'all keep going no matter what I do. Yes. Lay 'em down, yeah, lay 'em down, yes. Yeah, lay 'em down, yes, lay 'em down, lay 'em, lay 'em, lay 'em, lay 'em down. I hear y'all. Thanks, y'all. Somebody's gonna have to be on crown duty. Whenever I get excited, I throw my head around and some part of my head wrap always comes undone. So I'm gonna, one of y'all just tell me, hey girl, your crown's coming undone. Okay. It was good, okay? Okay, thank you. I promise you, at some point it's gonna be like a bloop, you know, just a little ear is gonna come off. Can I get a little less guitar in the monitors up here? Can I get a little less guitar in the monitors up here? I don't know if we shut the door and it made things a little different. Y'all tell me, how are we doing out there? I know you guys are doing the live stream for the first time. Everything's all right? Cool, cool, cool. All right. I'm gonna stay on this theme. This is called Too Much. Sleeping on the subway, waiting for your luck to change. And the choices that you made. How you gonna keep on keeping on when you feel beaten down and your money's all gone? How you keep on keeping on, keeping on? It's just too much. Oh, your luck is about to change. It's just too much. You got more in before you break. It's just too much. All of the signs are telling me that I'm running out of time. But I gotta tell you, this weight is too much, too much, too much. Ooh, I said it's just too much, hey, too much, too much. Ooh, yeah. There's only so much that one poor soul can do. Yeah, yes, only so many times you can play to an empty room, yeah. How you gonna keep on keeping on when you feel beaten down and your money's all gone? How you keep on keeping on, keeping on? It's just too much. Oh, your luck is about to change. It's just too much. You got more than before you break. It's just too much, yeah. All of the signs are telling me that I'm running out of time. But I gotta tell you, this weight is too much, yes. Ooh, when it gets harder, hold on just a little longer. Ooh, just before the dawn, yes. You know it gets darker. Ooh, when it gets harder, hold on just a little longer. Ooh, just before the dawn is, I know it gets darker. Ooh, when it gets harder, hold on just a little longer. Ooh, just before the dawn, I know it gets darker, darker, darker. Ooh, it's just too much. Oh, your luck is about to change. Just too much. You got more bend before you break. Just too much. Yeah. All the signs are telling me that I'm running out of time. But I gotta tell you, this wait is too much. Oh, your luck is about to change. Just too much. Yeah, you got more bend before you break. Just too much, yeah. All of the signs are telling me that I'm running out of time. But I gotta tell you, this weight is too much, too much, too much. Ooh, I said it's just too much. Hey, it's too much. Ooh, yeah. I said it's just too much. So that song, when I wrote it, I had the idea of, like the iCats, or like what can I think? Diana Ross and the Supremes, like just having the little voices on your shoulder, just singing too much, ooh. I feel like that makes all stress better when you have your own iCats or Supremes. You know? I have two other singers that I normally sing with. Some of these songs usually have 3-part harmony coming at you, and that song, Too Much, is from the new record I just released in February. And the album is called Listen. And the purpose behind the album was I had a mission. I wrote a mission statement for myself, just to kind of like focus in, because in Nashville, it's you can get caught up in the business of music. And so sometimes I feel like I lost the heart of music and why I did music in the first place. Music for me when I was a child, it was my escape. It was my way of escaping any trauma, any bad days at school, any chores even, But when I became a music therapist, I used music as a way to help others escape what they were going through and to also cope. But in Nashville, I lost sight of that, and I got caught up in is this hook catchy enough? Will this be sellable for a commercial, And so I had to just kind of refocus and rethink of why do I do music? So I wrote a mission statement, which is to be a voice and a vessel for those that feel lost, forgotten, silenced, or are hurting. And it's funny, the moment I wrote this mission statement, it's like the album clicked. I had a great idea and plan for what songs I wanted to go on this album and the message I wanted to get across. And originally the mission was just to have songs that represented everyone that I've ever come in contact with, either people that were in institutions, like literal institutions like this jail that we are in right now, or their own institutions that the walls that they put up themselves. And that last song, Too Much, was the first single, but this song right here is the title track. And it came out of a conversation with a friend. And we were on our way to Kansas City, which is a long drive. And somehow we got talking about the Me Too movement, and it was me and 2 other white women in the car. I got to give this as a disclaimer. And my friend that was driving asked me, she's from South Georgia, and she was just like, Kyshona, what are your feelings about the Me Too movement? And at that moment I realized, I do have different thoughts about it just because I have a different point of view and point of life that I'm coming from. So I was just sharing with her my opinions because she asked it. And it turned into a debate. And I found myself in the back seat getting heated, and I don't get heated and angry often. And when I do, I get quiet. And the other woman in the car could tell that I was feeling some feelings. And she turned to my friend and said, hey, did you realize that every time you ask Kyshona for an opinion and she gives it, you turn around and you debate her on it? And I was just like, yeah, that's what's wrong. That's why I'm angry right now. And when we got to Whole Foods, as you do, we were in the parking lot of Whole Foods. And my friend said, she turned to me and just said, Kyshona, all I've wanted to know is just how I can be a better ally. And she was like, I just want to know how I can help and be a better ally. And all I could think to tell her was, just shut up, stop talking, and just listen. A lot of times we ask people their point of view or what they need help with, and then we want to fix it right away. We start talking. We start thinking of how to fix it. And the moment you do that, you're not listening to them anymore. You're in your own story. And I have to catch myself because I'm a fixer. So when she said, I want to know how I could be a better ally, I was just like, just listen, that's it. You don't have to fix it. Just be there. And I try to carry this everywhere I go. This is called Listen. Da da da. Da da da. Why you gotta interrupt when I'm not done talking? I need you to keep it shut. This ain't up for discussion. Da 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 da. Yeah, I'm pouring out my heart, 'cause I want you to see it. I know you're picking me apart, but you ain't gotta listen. Why don't you listen? Why won't you listen? Why don't you listen? Yeah, I know you wanna help, but you're deaf to the mission. Even when you see the hand I'm dealt, you pretend it's my decision. Don't try and say that our struggle's the same. Don't lie and tell me you're ready for change. Why don't you listen? Why won't you listen? Why don't you listen? Why don't you listen? Trying to tell you my truth. The only thing I ask of you is listen. 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 Ooh, listen. Why don't you listen? Won't you listen? Why don't you listen? Why won't you listen? Thanks, y'all. So I always tell people, after that, yes, we have to listen. And the point of listening and trying to stay out of our head and fix it is that's to me is the first step. That's the first thing I learned when I went to school for counseling was how to mirror someone, right? And how to mirror their body language and how to simply be there and hear, not to give all the answers to fix it. And the next thing that I learned about that was how to imagine myself in that situation. Empathy, right? That's something we want these kids to learn these days is empathy, how to be empathetic. And has anybody here ever read the book, The Four Agreements? Yeah? Yeah. So that's great. That's the most hands I think I've ever had raised for that book. It's a book by Don Miguel Ruiz. I always get them wrong, but I think they are. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word. And then the two that really stuck with me is make no assumptions and don't take anything personally. The don't take anything personally is the one that I struggle with, right? That's the really hard one. Somebody could look at me funny and I'm thinking, Lord, what did I do? Did I say something? Did I make them angry? Somebody leaves the room when I'm on stage and I'm like, oh, Lord, I said the wrong thing, right? And when I was in New York doing my internship, my music therapy internship, my supervisor gave me this book, The Four Agreements, because she said, you are struggling, honey. Your Southern ways are just embedded in you, where you want to fix everything. And I really was trying to figure out how to be so accommodating, and I thought everybody was mad at me, and everybody was looking at me. And there's something that I realized is, I could tell this real quick. One of the supervisors, I thought he had an issue with me. It felt like he was always wanting to fight me. I was like, I'm sugary sweet. I am just sugary sweet, guys. I was whistling the Looney Tunes theme whenever I would walk around the hospital. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I'm a nice person. But I felt like he hated me. And after she gave me this book, she sat me down and she said, it's really something he's been keeping private, but he has a brain tumor. So his reactions to you have nothing to do with you. He simply has a brain tumor. And that was like a moment of you don't know what anybody is walking around with. And so there's another book by Don Miguel Ruiz where it talks about how we all have wounds, these invisible wounds that no one can see. And every now and then somebody might bump into that wound, even though we think it's healed. When they bump into the wound, or if we bump into their wound, we experience their reaction. They lash out because it hurt, right? And so we take offense, not realizing we just touched on something sensitive for them. We just experienced that lashing. And this just got me thinking about how we are all walking around with some sort of pain, history. We're just trying to get through every day. And if we can see each other through that first, the hurt that we all carry, I feel like that's the next step after listening. This is called Fallen People. Do y'all want to come sit down? There's so many seats up front. So many. You sure? All right. You can blame it on religion. You can blame it on the president. Blame it on the way that we were raised, or blame it on the government. We can be angry at each other, always pointing fingers. We could use every excuse, it's so easy to do in the heat of it. Sisters and brothers, when we gonna come together? We're fallen people, living in a fallen world. We're fallen people, people who hurt, who hurt, who hurt. We've all had that moment. We've all fallen a little short. Isn't there something you wish you could take back? Something you're fighting for? Look down the street. what's it all for? Sisters and brothers, when we gonna come? When we gonna come together? We're fallen people, living in a fallen world. Fallen people, who hurt, yes. Judging at the first look, when we haven't read the whole book. Only place to start is to love from where you are. We're fallen people, living in a fallen world. Ooh, yeah. Fallen people, people who hurt, yeah. Fallen people, living in a fallen world. Ooh, yeah. Fallen people, people who hurt, yeah. People who hurt, all just people who hurt, who hurt. My daddy told me, he saw me, he watched a live stream a couple weeks ago. And y'all ever seen The Caverns on PBS? Yeah. So we got to do this really awesome thing. It was called Voting, Harmony on the Horizon. It was about voting is vital. And just encouraging people to just get out there and vote early. But it was filmed in the caverns, so it was like my first time playing in the caverns, and it was cold and damp. But I was like this, drenched in sweat. And all my dad could say, he couldn't say anything about my guitar playing or how he sounded. He was like, baby, you need to carry a towel with you. And I hear him right now telling me the same thing. Baby, you need to carry a towel with you. You sweat too much. The important things, you know? I have a baby brother. He's not a baby. He has 3 kids and is a grown man. But he's 4 years younger than me. He's a lot like me. I didn't start writing songs till I was maybe 26. I didn't really start singing until I became a music therapist when I was like 20. I was a piano player and an oboe player. That was my world. Yes, oboe. Yes, oboe got me through college. That is how I made my way. Oboe and percussion. And so I'm used to not using my voice, and I was one of these people. Remember I told y'all I use music to escape, so I'll just close my eyes. So I have to catch myself sometimes when I'm on stage, like that last song, I'll just close my eyes and go somewhere. But my brother is like me. When he was about 27 years old, he was going through a tough period in his life. He couldn't work. He had an injury. So he was Mr. Mom. He picked up a guitar he had never played before in his life. And to get out of his depression, he started writing. And later in life, a few years later, he moved to Nashville and lived in my music room and traveled back and forth between South Carolina and Tennessee to make sure he made all the soccer games. And there's one weekend he was with me, and he said, Kyshona, I've been thinking about fear and how fear has been that thing that's kept me hostage. We can call it many different things, but if you just kind of strip it down, in the end, it is just simply fear. So we thought, let's write a song to it. I can't move, I can't sleep, holding me down, now I can't breathe. Pain in my chest, doubt in my thoughts, in and out of luck, lost in the dark. Don't call it crazy, don't call it insane, don't call it being cautious when you know the way, don't call it being foolish when you know the game. You gotta call it by its name. Call it by its name, yeah. Call it by its name, call it by its name, call it by its name. You call me out, come in my house, pressure's brewing, it's filling me with doubt. Think you got me on my knees, no you don't. Think you take this all away, no you won't. Don't call it crazy, don't call it insane, don't call it being cautious when you know the way, don't call it being foolish when you know the game. You gotta call it by its name. Call it by its name, yeah, yes, Lord. Call it by its name, call it by its name, call it by its name. So is a struggle, so is a strain. Don't fall victim, you gotta call it by its name. Oh, it'll paralyze, make you believe it's lies. Yes. Don't fall victim, you gotta call it by its name. Call it by its name, call it by its name. Don't fall victim, you gotta call it by its name. Yes. Call it by its name, call it by its name. Yes. Don't fall victim, you gotta call it by its name. Call it by its name, call it by its name. Call it by its name, oh yeah. Call it by its name, yes, yes, Lord. Call it by it, call it by it, call it by its name, yes. Call it by it, call it by its name. Call it by it, call it by it, call it by its name, yes. Call it by it, call it by its name. Call it, y'all. That song is called Fear, and that is also on the new record, Listen, which I have for sale out here in the lobby and on my website, Kyshona.com. And I've been doing this thing since the pandemic hit. We released the album on February 28th, and then we had a whole tour set up in Australia, and then we were supposed to have been in Dayton, Ohio, playing Levitt Shell, and then coming here after that. And so our dates, of course, for the year are gone. And I had a slight mini life crisis. It's cool, no big deal, I'm fine. And I started thinking about the mission statement again, right? And when I focused on the mission statement, it's amazing what happened, but this past summer, Levitt Shell reached out to me and asked, like, Kyshona, do you think you could maybe lead a songwriting class for our girls' summer camp? I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I figured out how to do things from home and live stream from home, and then taught a songwriting class to young girls. And that just snowballed from there. So then I started working with Mighty Writers up in Philadelphia, which is a nonprofit organization where they just teach kids how to use their pen. and they write. They write stories, podcasts, they write plays, they write any and everything. And so they wanted me to do some sort of songwriting class. And so we did a how to produce online. And then that went into protest songwriting. We're doing that right now in the fall. And it has given me life. And what I realized was, if kids are being given this opportunity, what about us adults, right? We got things we want to say too. So I started offering songwriting classes also and sessions to people who have never written before online. It's called Your Song. You can go to Kyshona.com and it's just you sign up. And I have 2 sessions with you. It's basically like a mini therapy session, and then we write your song. It can be your anthem. We've had songs, people have written songs for their spouses that are going through cancer. People have written songs for their children, for their grandchildren. I've had one young man who suffers with a mental illness who needed to replace all the negative thoughts in his head with positive ones. So we wrote him an anthem called I Am. And that has given me a new just way to look at how we do music now and how we look at this platform, you know? I learned from this man that I heard about in Dallas County, Texas, about truth. Can y'all hear me when I talk off the mic? Cool. There's this man in Dallas County, Texas. I was sitting in a hotel room, and the news came on, and he was on the front steps of a courthouse, and his name was Cornelius Dupree. And Cornelius was on the front steps of this courthouse because he was being exonerated for a crime that he, of course, did not commit. And he, I feel like this is appropriate for the setting we're in. Cornelius was 19 years old and just sitting in his car, waiting for some friends to come out of a convenience store for some supplies for a party they were going to throw that night. And before he knew it, he was being pulled out of his car and arrested. And later he was put on trial by a jury of all white men. Witnesses were coerced, and Cornelius went to death row. He was sentenced to life in prison. And for 30-something years, he sat there. And you know, they said, if you just say that you did the crime, we'll lower your sentence. And he said, no, I want my truth to be heard. I just want my truth to be told. And that's all he fought for all those years, was his truth. That's all we have, is our truth. And when I turned on the news, there was a broadcaster, a reporter that was asking Cornelius, you know, the Innocence Project found his case, and they said, Cornelius, is there anything that you want back from Dallas County? He said, all I've ever wanted was somebody to hear my truth. Now that's done. Now I just want to go live my life. And all I could think about were all the people that walk this earth. They may be your neighbor. They may be someone behind bars that you've never met. They may be in an institution. But they never had the opportunity for their truth to be heard. And that's when I realized I can tell his truth. How can I help others? I wrote this song for him. He's never heard it, but this is simply called Cornelius Dupree. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yeah. To feel the heart pumping in my chest. To feel the heart pumping in my chest. Don't think I'm ready to pass this test. No, 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 no. I feel the heart pumping in my chest. Whiteness all around, hands are shaking, fingers pointing now. Future's breaking. I feel the heart pumping in my chest. rush into my head. Oh, to feel the blood rush into my head. For crimes not mine, I won't confess, no. Hey, oh, I feel the blood rush into my head. Darkness all around, the sea upon me. Soul is breaking down, the bars surround me. I feel the blood rush into my head, yes. For crimes not mine, trying to hold me down, but I won't confess, no. No, for crimes not mine, trying to hold me down, but I won't confess. Won't claim defeat, no, no. Oh, I feel the earth underneath my feet. Yeah. Light is in me now, love surrounds me. I told my truth and now the world applauds me. Yes, I feel the earth underneath my feet. Yes. Trying to hold me down. The crime's not mine, trying to hold me down. The crime's not mine, trying to hold me down, but I won't confess, no. Won't confess, no, no. I won't confess. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Hey. I encourage you to look up the Innocence Project if you don't already know about it. I'm sure there's one close by. The whole mission is to find people's cases who were wrongfully imprisoned. I went into the women's jail when we were allowed to go in, and I was teaching songwriting to women in the Davidson County Jail. And it was rewarding just because these were people who had been told, these were women who had been told their whole lives that their voice wasn't important, or that, when I would say, hey guys, we're in songwriting, we're going to sing your songs, we're going to write some songs together. And their first reaction was always, oh no, my mama always told me, or my daddy always told me never to open my mouth because my voice is horrible. And I was amazed by how often, and just think about it, how many of y'all have been told that very same thing? I can't sing because somebody told me my voice is awful, right? Or they think that their story isn't important. And what's amazing is when we start, they think that they have nothing to share, and that there's nothing interesting, and that all they have is their mess-ups and what put them behind bars. But by the end of the class, when they have written their anthem, their group is like 14 women, and they write a song together. And what they always walk away with, first of all, they're all singing. They're fighting over who's going to sing the solos. And it's amazing to me how that thought of, I don't have anything to say, changes to, the women on the block wanted us to sing this over and over again because it felt good to they could relate to it. And they realized that other women that are locked up with them can relate to their story. Their story is everyone's story. And I always tell them, your story, even though it relates to people that are with you here in this facility, when I play your songs, I went and played one of their songs in London, and I told them about it, and they cried because I was like, y'all, the response from the audience was amazing because they said, I can relate to that. And these women were just like, you took our words to London? I can't believe that. And they liked our song. I was like, yes. The song was called I Am Enough. And how many of us need that reminder, that we are enough? That is it, nothing more, just be. And so, talking about truth, that's what I learned from hearing about Cornelius Dupree. And I like going and working with people that just have never been told that their voice is important, and that we can all learn from one another's stories and testimonies. I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit and take it back to my South Carolina roots. I wrote this in the style of my grandpa, H.T. It's called The Riverside. If I ever go away, you'll check on down by the riverside. Yes. If I ever go away, you'll check on down by the riverside. Yeah. For the girl with the hole in her heart, ooh, yes. Look for the girl who stands alone in her dark, ooh, yes. If I ever go away, you'll check on down by the riverside, yeah. If I ever go away, you'll check on down by that riverside, yes. You see me kneeling upon the stones, yes. Just leave me grieving, ignore all my moans, yes. Went to the river and the river it says, come in my waters, let me cleanse your head. If I ever go away, you'll check on down by that river side. Yes. River said, I know all your woes. I've been high and I've been low. Bless my soul, yes. Bless my soul, yes. I stepped in the water and that water was cold, yes. I stepped in the water and that water was cold, yeah, yes. Beckon river, you cover me slow, yes. I tell you secrets you'll already know, yes. Went to the river and the river it says, come in my waters, let me cleanse your head. If I ever go away, you'll check on down by that river side. If I ever go away, oh, check on down by that riverside. Thanks, y'all. Oh, boy. I have a few more for y'all. Y'all okay? This is taking so much more focus than I'm used to. I can't multitask anymore, guys. I used to be able to, I used to joke with people how I could be on stage singing and telling full stories, but also thinking about, like, if there was a TV up, I could watch the television, that I could be thinking about what the next song is going to be, and also wondering, now, what am I going to eat when I get back to the, I cannot do that now. I have to close my eyes and focus. Anybody else losing cognitive skills? Yes. So again, I just want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and also being here, playing live music, especially right now. Just, it's something that makes me feel like I'm doing something and I'm contributing something. And if I'm making people feel uncomfortable, then I'm still doing something, you know? And so I thank you for coming out, just being a part of it all. I should have warned y'all that I'm a chatty Cathy. Y'all okay with that? I mean, we're almost done now, so. This song is an oldie, and I wrote this with my friend Jen Bostic, and I've written a lot of songs with Jen, but I took this song. It's the song about based off of a quote by Aristotle. When I went to do this is the first song I've ever written with her. When I walked into her writing room, y'all, in her writing room, there was like a leopard chase lounge and a chandelier hanging. She had a whole whiteboard wall, so I was a little intimidated, you know. And this is my first Nashville co-write. And she had on the board a quote by Aristotle that said, "To avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, be nothing." And I was like, man, this girl is deep. So she was like, well, what ideas did you bring for the songwrite today? And I was like, what's this quote about? So we ended up writing about this Aristotle song, and it turned into, you know, just a grand discussion. You know, basically, when is it time to use your voice to speak up? But when is it also when is it time just to act and let your actions speak for you? And in the field that we're both in, this field we're in front of people doing things, especially when you feel like you're being judged and people are telling you if your songs are good or not, if you're good enough or not. We can't pay attention to the noise. We just got to let our actions speak for what we're doing. So this song had a whole other meaning when we wrote it. But a few years back, I worked with this nonprofit called Send Musicians to Prison. And we went up to Rikers Island. And the whole mission of this organization is to bring light into the darkness. So I did 2 concerts, one for the women's block and one for the adolescent block. There were 16 to 21 year olds, y'all, on Rikers Island. I'm just going to put that out there. So with the women's block, I learned a lesson. And the lesson that I learned was how to focus on joy when chaos is surrounding you. So we were playing in a gym, and I had 150 women in front of me. Now, I was doing Waterfalls. You know that song by TLC? Don't go chasing waterfalls. I was doing the rap. It was great. And then, all of a sudden, I hear an alarm go off, and I see officers running around in riot gear. And I'm looking at my boss man, Nathan, and I was like, do I stop? He said, keep going. The officers that were in there with us said, keep going. Now, there are officers running behind me in riot gear. They're running in front of me in riot gear. They're running behind the windows. And I look at these women, and they're just, don't go chasing what? Like, not even focused on the riot that was going down. And I learned that day, man, when joy is in front of you, you got to focus on it. No matter if a building is burning down. The second lesson I learned is when I was with the adolescents. I realized that the officers had been looking at these young boys as grown men. And I also realized that these young boys hadn't had the opportunity to play in a while. So I pulled them up on stage with me. I had them freestyling. We were making up songs in the moment. And before I knew it, the officers were laughing and clapping and joking around with the boys. And I saw the kids that they truly were. So I played this song for them and thought it went over their heads. And then at the end of the concert, he was like, all right, guys, wrapping it up. Y'all have a good one. And two young men on the front row said, Miss Kyshona, can you play that Aristotle song one more time? I thought, sure. Now I'm going to finish this song and play it for you, and I'm going to tell you what happened after I finished. This is called Do Nothing. The deeper I get, the softer the fall. I do it all. The harder the fight, the stronger the call. I'm breaking walls. Passion isn't for the faint of heart. I walk the wire even in the dark. I do what I like, being criticized. But I know I could do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. People leave you alone. Hear nothing, feel nothing, see nothing. Let them pick up their stones. Now if you want to spread your wings and fly, know that the vulture's gonna eat you alive. Do nothing, say nothing, be nothing, yes. People leave you alone. Oh. Now people may say tragedy waits, but oh no, it don't. I stay in my lane, not taking the bait. I'm out on my own. I'm like an angel with my wings on fire. Tugging on my halo only takes me high. I do what I want, call it my fault, but I know I could do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. People leave you alone. Hear nothing, feel nothing, see nothing. Let them pick up their stones. If you wanna spread your wings and fly, know that the vulture's gonna eat you alive. Do nothing, say nothing, be nothing, yeah. Don't you want a little taste? I see your fear keeps getting in your way. Shake it up, don't take it straight. Let it burn, yes. Let it in. Come on and do something. Say something. Be something. Do what you want. Hear something. Feel something. See something. I know you wanna spread your wings and fly. Don't let the vultures eat you alive. Do something. Say something. Be something. Yes. People leave you alone. Yeah. People leave you alone. Yes. So when I finished playing the song, they clapped, and then the officers said, all right, young men, y'all get up. And they lined them back up against the wall to go back to their block. So as they're standing there, the officers put the shackles back on the boys' ankles along their wrists. And they started kind of humming that last chorus, do something, say something, be something. And the warden came back and she said, I want you to know that those boys sang that last chorus all the way back as they were walking through Rikers, all the way back to their unit, singing, do something, say something, be something. And what I realized on that day, the second lesson I learned, was that it's never too late to plant a seed. We cannot throw people away. It's never too late just to let people know it's okay to plant a seed. Thank you. Yeah, y'all don't give up on folks, okay? I got a couple more for you. Is that okay? Oh man, Moses, he's wading in the river, trying to wash his hands free of the blood and the pain. How to tell his children why we kill each other, how after 2,000 years we still live this way. And home of the brave and the land of the free. If you're telling the truth, you got enemies. But it don't matter what you believe, no, no. We all bleed the same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood, same blood. Carried the sins of our fathers for years. We've learned how to hate, and we've learned what to fear. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Can't undo all the bad that's been done. Can't put that bullet back in the gun. All you can do is try to love someone, yes. For goodness sake, won't you love someone? We all bleed the same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood, same blood. We all bleed the same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood, same blood. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah. All right. Ooh, don't cover your eyes. Ooh, don't look away, child. No, 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 no. Oh, don't cover your eyes. We all bleed the same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood, same blood. Y'all can sing that with me, yeah? We all bleed the same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood. We all bleed the same blood, same blood, same blood. I'm gonna play softer. Let me hear y'all for real. We all bleed the same blood. We all bleed same blood, same blood. Oh no, we all bleed the same blood, same blood, same blood. Checking my crown. That's usually the song where she starts to come unraveled. It's good? Okay. I feel like y'all would let me know if my crown was crooked. So again, y'all, my name is Kyshona. Thank you so much. You can find me at Kyshona.com. And if you are interested, or if anybody you know you think might benefit from a songwriting session, just writing their song, they don't have to have any music experience at all. Just send them on over to Kyshona.com. And it's a great Christmas present as well. Yeah, Kyshona.com, your song. And I hope you guys just really take care of yourselves. And let's just remember that, we have so much more in common than anything anybody is telling us can tear us apart. We got so much more in common. And most of these last songs I played have been on from the record, The Ride 2.0. Or Listen. And this one is the last song on my album, Listen. So I'm gonna end with this tonight. Y'all be safe out there, take care of each other, love your neighbor. This is called More in Common. on your side. I can't hear your heart over the screaming crowds. We've said awful things, but I'm still choosing you now. We've got more in common. We've got more in common. No matter what you think, where you've been, who you are, we've got more in common than what tears us apart. Second chances, they don't come every day. They're like sun in Seattle, or like February. So let's build up these bridges, oh, and tear down these walls, oh Lord. Let's give love when we need it and be ready to receive it, 'cause love is binding us all. We've got more in common. We've got more in common. No matter what you think, where you've been, who you are, we've got more in common than what tears us apart. Na na na, na 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 na. Take my hand, we'll rise together through the fire. You are my brother. The more we seek, the more we find it. More in common. Take my hand, we'll rise together through the fire. You are my brother. The more we seek, the more we find it. More in common. Yes. Take my hand, we'll rise together through the fire. You are my brother. The more we seek, the more we find it. More in common. We've got more in common. We've got more in common. No matter what you think, where you've been, who you are, we've got more in common than what tears us apart. Y'all can sing these with me. Na na na, na 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 na. Lighters in the air, come on. Na na na, na 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 na. Na na na, na 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 na. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. My name's Kyshona. Y'all take care.